Alright, today we're going to do this Cherry Delight here, number 3, Silverfinger, by Glenn Chase, who is actually Gardner F. Fox. And here's a little something about him. He has too many pseudonyms to mention, so he wrote under many different names. Glenn Chase is one of them. And he's most famous for writing for the comics, for DC Comics, for the Golden and Silver Age. He started, when they created Batman, I think he started writing on like the third issue. Before he wrote for the comics, he was a lawyer for 2 years. And then the Great Depression came, and I guess people didn't need lawyers, so he wrote for the comics. I guess the comics and pulps were more lucrative than being a lawyer, which is hilarious. So yeah, he mostly wrote for DC, and then, more importantly to me, he wrote for EC Comics for a few years. Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, Weird Science, stuff like that. Which EC Comics is. Those are so good. The DC stuff is mostly superhero, so I don't know. It's okay. I'm not too much into it. Let's see. He also wrote lots of sword and sorcery novels. He had a series, the Kothar series, which I picked up one in the last book haul, and Kyric, which I also picked up number 1 in the last book haul. There is a Kyric review on the blog if you look it up. Cherry Delight is a spy. She's a sexecutioner. Obviously, you can tell that it's up there, that it's on the sleazy side. It's a sexecutioner thriller, not to be confused with Sexecutioner from Noir. She works for N.Y.M.P.H.O, the New York. Oh man, can I remember it off the top of my head? The New York Mafia Prosecution and Harassment Organization. So it's an organization that is focused on the elimination of the mafia, and their top agent is Cherry Delight, who uses her talents to take down the mob. That's the first 20. How many did I say there was? There's 29. There's 29 in the series, and I think 25 of them have to do with the mafia, and then it gets like kind of Scooby-Doo towards the end where she's fighting monsters. Yeah. I've only read one of those, and it's so good. But, yeah, back to this one. This is number 3. So, in this one, she goes to Italy, and she's sent there to, there's like these 3 kids who take over this shipping business, this very profitable shipping business, after their dad dies. And the mafia is like trying to extort them for money, 20% or something like that. So she goes there to try and, foil the mafia's attempts at extortion and taking over this business. It starts, she's on a ship, one of the ships of the kids' business, and there's these 2 mafia guys going to set up a bomb, and she shows up in like no clothes, just jiggling around. She jiggles on up to him, and like she's like, "Oh, I'm so lonely. Can you guys please, come fuck me?" And the dudes are just like, "Not now, lady. After we're done." And she just keeps going and going, and then she almost gets one of the guys to be like, "Okay, you know, and then she gets close and judo chops him, and down he goes, and then she takes out the other guy, all naked in karate. And it's awesome. Yeah, it's good, you know. So then she foils the attempts, and then she goes back to the house to talk to the kids and tells them what happened, and they're just like, oh, yeah, right. They don't really believe it. They don't care. They've just been so separated from that world. You know, their father kept them separate that they just don't care. They don't believe it. They don't think it's really a threat. They're just like, what do they want? 20%? We're bazillionaires. Just give it to them. And they'll leave us alone. And she's like laughs in their face. Like, are you know nothing about these people. You give them the money, and then that's it. They'll take over. They want more, and they'll eventually own the business. And the kids still don't believe him. She's like, okay, whatever. Well, I'm going to hang out here for a while. And they're like, okay, cool, you know. And it's like, so they're like 20-some-year-olds. There's two guys and a girl, 2 brothers and a sister. So there's like the younger guy is like the playboy. And he takes Cherry out to the town, to the village. And, you know. She's jiggling, and so there's an attempt on his life, and she foils it, you know, and then he's like all in. He's like, okay, yeah, these guys are after us for real. And then there's a sex scene, and they're like kind of soft core, you know, it's not as tame as like the 50s sleaze stuff. You know, they talk about veiny penises and pubic hair. There's lots of mention of pubic hair in this book. I don't know. That was a turn on back then, I guess. You know, and lots of petting, I guess. You know, softcore. So they do it, and then they come back, and he tries to tell them, and they're just like, oh, I don't know, and more mafia stuff happens. They start believing it. There's a black mass orgy with Satan. So Satan shows up also. So, you know, that makes it even cooler. You know, it's not just mafia. You know, you got like cults, conspiracy. There's like it's labor. There's things about like union labor stuff. Silverfinger, the main mafia bad guy of the town. He's not like the head of the mafia. He's just like the boss of that area. And yeah, you know, Cherry fucks everyone. Just lots of boob descriptions. Yeah, man, it's awesome. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't want to spoil it. You know, I don't want to spoil the story. But yeah, it's good stuff. It is. You know, Gardner-Fox. He knew how to write. This isn't just like some misspelled crap that someone shit out in like an afternoon. Like, you know, the guy knows what he's doing. So it's actually a pretty entertaining story, kind of, plot-wise. You know, the sex scenes are more appealing to make it more appealing. It's not a porno, you know, it's a story. Yeah, these Cherry Delights are awesome. This is the second one I've read. I read one of the Scooby-Doo ones, which he didn't write those. He didn't write the later ones. So yeah, my goal is to find more of these. I got 3 in total. You don't really find them out too often. I did run across these out in the wild. I usually don't order stuff online. I know it's corny, but if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I'm gonna find it out, and I very rarely order anything online. There's just so much stuff out there that I don't have to. I don't know, and it's always way too much. Like, I think I paid. Where did I get this? Oh, I got this at the Gym City Comic Con, and it was $10. So I think if you paid for this online, it would be like, I don't know, at least 20, at least double that. So, but yeah, Cherry Delight, number 3, Sexecutioner.